Donald Trump is a well-known and controversial figure who has built a public persona centered around his wealth. He has frequently presented himself as a self-made billionaire who started out with $1 million loan from his father, Fred Trump. However, a closer look at his history reveals that Fred Trump played a significant role in his son's rise to prominence. Fred Trump was a successful businessman in the construction industry, taking advantage of government grants and low-interest loans offered by President Roosevelt's New Deal to build a fortune. He began transferring wealth to his children at a young age, setting up a contract for his son Donald to receive an annual income of $60,000 when he was only 3 years old. After graduating college in 1968, Donald joined his father's business and the wealth transfer accelerated. In 1972, Donald and Fred formed a partnership to secure an $8 million loan for the construction of Prospect Tower. Despite Fred doing most of the work, Donald received the majority of the profits. By 1975, he was earning over $300,000 per year from that building alone and had amassed a significant fortune from his father by the age of 29. Throughout the 1980s, Fred transferred additional wealth to Donald through a variety of methods, including buying out mortgages on properties and transferring them to trusts with Donald and his siblings as beneficiaries. Donald also received loans from his father's companies, including a total of $3 million in 1979 that was structured in a way that allowed him to keep the money indefinitely. Donald's career continued to grow, with notable investments such as the Plaza Hotel and Trump Shuttle, as well as ventures into the Atlantic City casino business. However, not all of these endeavors were successful, and Donald has faced financial troubles and bankruptcy at various points in his career. Ultimately, it is clear that while Donald Trump has certainly been successful in his own right, his father's wealth and influence played a significant role in his rise to prominence and the building of his real estate empire. Despite the significant role that Fred Trump's wealth and influence played in his son's success, Donald Trump has consistently presented himself as a self-made billionaire. This narrative has been called into question by various sources, including journalists, financial experts, and Trump's own family members. For example, in a 2018 interview with the New York Times, Donald's niece Mary Trump claimed that Fred Trump got Donald on a very good trajectory and that the president's portrayal of himself as a self-made man is a complete lie. Mary Trump's book, Too Much and Never Enough: How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man, also includes detailed accounts of the ways in which Fred Trump supported and financially assisted his son throughout his career. Additionally, financial documents and records have revealed that Donald Trump received significant financial support from his father in the form of loans, gifts, and tax dodges. For example, a 2018 investigation by the New York Times found that Fred Trump transferred more than $1 billion in wealth to his children, with the majority going to Donald. This transfer was achieved through a variety of methods, including undervaluing real estate properties and setting up trusts and shell companies to avoid taxes. Overall, it seems clear that while Donald Trump has certainly made significant contributions to his own success, he has benefited significantly from the wealth and influence of his father. Despite this, he has continued to present himself as a self-made man, a narrative that has been challenged by various sources. The controversy surrounding Donald Trump's self-made billionaire narrative has persisted throughout his career and has been a source of criticism from those who argue that he has not accurately represented the role that his father's wealth and influence played in his success. Some have also pointed out that while Fred Trump was a successful businessman in his own right, he also benefited from government programs and policies that allowed him to build his fortune. For example, as mentioned earlier, Fred Trump took advantage of President Roosevelt's New Deal, which offered low-interest loans and subsidies to encourage residential construction. This support allowed Fred Trump to build his business and accumulate wealth, which he then passed on to his children, including Donald. In this sense, it could be argued that while Donald Trump may not have directly inherited his father's wealth, he did benefit from the privileges and opportunities that came with it. This nuance has often been overlooked in discussions about Trump's self-made billionaire persona, with some critics arguing that he has not accurately represented the role that his father and external factors played in his success. At the same time, it is important to acknowledge that Donald Trump has made significant contributions to his own career and has demonstrated a strong business acumen. He has played a key role in the development and expansion of the Trump Organization and has made a number of successful investments and business ventures. However, it seems clear that his father's wealth and influence have also played a significant role in his success and should not be overlooked in discussions about his fortune and career. The controversy surrounding Donald Trump's self-made billionaire narrative has been a topic of discussion and debate for many years. In recent years, the president has faced criticism from those who argue that he has not accurately represented the role that his father's wealth and influence played in his success. One of the main points of contention has been the extent to which Trump has benefited from his father's wealth and the various ways in which Fred Trump transferred money and assets to his children. For example, as mentioned earlier, a 2018 investigation by the New York Times found that Fred Trump transferred more than $1 billion in wealth to his children, with the majority going to Donald. This transfer was achieved through a variety of methods, including undervaluing real estate properties and setting up trusts and shell companies to avoid taxes. In response to these and other allegations, Trump and his allies have defended his self-made billionaire narrative and argued that he has worked hard to build his own fortune and career. In a statement to the New York Times, the Trump Organization said that much of the information in the Times' article is exaggerated or misleading, and Trump has frequently pointed to his business successes and investments as evidence of his self-made status. Ultimately, the debate over Trump's self-made billionaire narrative is likely to continue, with different individuals and groups offering different perspectives on the role that his father's wealth and influence have played in his success. It is important to consider all of the available evidence and to acknowledge the complex factors that have contributed to Trump's fortune and career. Despite the ongoing debate over his self-made billionaire narrative, Donald Trump's wealth and financial history have remained a topic of public interest and scrutiny throughout his career. In addition to the controversy surrounding the role that his father's wealth and influence played in his success, Trump has faced criticism and legal challenges related to his financial practices and business dealings. For example, Trump has faced accusations of fraud and misrepresentation in relation to various business ventures, including the Trump University Real Estate Seminar Program and the Trump Foundation charitable organization. He has also faced criticism for his financial disclosures and for failing to fully divest from his business interests while serving as president. In addition, Trump has faced legal challenges related to his taxes and financial affairs. For example, he has faced ongoing litigation over his refusal to release his tax returns, which is a tradition for presidential candidates and officeholders in the United States but is not legally required. He has also faced investigations into his financial practices, including by the U.S. Congress and the New York Attorney General's office. Overall, while Trump has certainly built a successful career and amassed a significant fortune, his financial history and practices have been the subject of ongoing controversy and scrutiny. In addition to the ongoing controversy and legal challenges related to his financial history and practices, Donald Trump's wealth and business dealings have also been a source of conflict of interest concerns during his presidency. As a businessman with a global network of financial interests, Trump's personal financial stakes could potentially influence his decisions and actions as president. For example, he has faced criticism for promoting his own business interests and properties, such as hosting events at his Mar-a-Lago resort and directing foreign diplomats to stay at his Washington, D.C. hotel. To address these concerns, Trump announced in January 2017 that he would transfer the management of his businesses to his sons, Eric and Donald Jr., and would place his assets in a trust to be managed by his son and a senior Trump Organization executive. However, critics have argued that these measures do not go far enough to address potential conflicts of interest and have called for Trump to fully divest from his businesses. Trump has also faced criticism for his failure to divest from his financial holdings, which include stocks and other investments that could be affected by his decisions as president. In addition, he has faced scrutiny for his financial ties to foreign countries and individuals, which could potentially influence his foreign policy decisions. Overall, Trump's wealth and business dealings have been a source of conflict of interest concerns during his presidency, with critics arguing that he has not adequately addressed these issues and that his financial interests could potentially influence his decisions as president.